Hi Libra, welcome to your new Love in May 2019 tarot reading. It's Raina here, and this is for people who are looking for new love in May, Libra people specifically. This is a general reading. If you'd like a personalized love reading or any other type of reading, please check me out at rainamoonastrology.com, and the link for that is below. Ooh, you got the Lover's card. It's actually associated with your sign, as you might know. The heart of the matter is the Hermit card, and this is a card of perhaps some of Libra people being alone for a while. And not just being alone because you're in between relationships, but also doing some soul searching. If you have been through the ringer with a former relationship, you may just be like, I need a break. I need a chance to just collect my thoughts here, and I also want to know, why am I in this pattern over and over again? Why is this happening to me all the time? If you were cheated on, for instance, or something along those lines, it may be quite frustrating. You may feel like there's something wrong with me. And, you know, it's really a good thing to be able to see patterns. Not everybody does. And to be able to, you know, question yourself. I think that is a good thing, because then you can actually solve the problem. And you're taking responsibility from it on your end as well. In the past position, we have the Page of Swords, and this is a card of being like a spy and vigilant. And this is what, you know, one of the things that could indicate that you were in this mode of always trying to find out what was really going on in a past relationship. And that may have been very tiring, and it may have not been the kind of thing that you wanted to have in a relationship. Who would want that? And also simply being suspicious that it's going to happen again. So there might be this sense of trust issues with the Page of Swords. You may have had a relationship with somebody who represents swords. You are swords. Gemini and Aquarius are as well. And maybe this person was younger than you, or they had a youthful attitude, maybe even immaturity to some degree, and that relationship might not have lasted because of their own inability to kind of handle the relationship in a mature way. Page of Swords can even be the way that somebody communicates in a very childish manner. Even in the upright position, I can think of somebody who you weren't able to communicate with. Wasn't great communication with. But this could certainly be how you have felt coming up to this period of time, and maybe that's why you decided to kind of just take a breather from relationships completely. And the other thing about this that's important with the Page of Swords is that there may have been, you know, this is another interesting thing. If you are a Libra person, your Venus could easily be in Scorpio or Mars, and that would make you much more suspicious and lacking trust in relationships. And of course, your moon sign can be anything, including Scorpio. That's like the big one that I think of when I think of being suspicious. The higher message is the Magician card. As a cardinal sign, You are very capable of taking inspired action. All of the cardinal signs have this natural inclination to try to do things to remedy their situation. And so that's a great thing. But also the Magician is about resourcefulness. And the reason this is important is that I notice sometimes with Libra people, and it could be Moon in Libra as well, that I have seen this happen. And Venus and Mars in Libra, I guess, but especially Sun and Moon, is the tendency to build their lives around a relationship where they become dependent on the other person. The sign of Libra rules the 7th house of committed partnerships. So it makes sense that Libra is a sign that naturally wants to be in relationships. A relationship. The Hermit, by contrast, obviously likes to be alone. So it is kind of like uncharacteristic or atypical for a Libra person to be like the Hermit. It would take a lot to get to that place. But you may be a little bit, they say once bitten, twice shy, where you just have had too many examples where your heart was broken, your trust was broken. And the Magician is about being self-contained, but resourceful and self-empowered, so that you're coming to relationships with a sense of, I'm going to bring this to you and kind of like show you this part of life, and you're going to show me, like kind of like mutual teachers, rather than mutual life preservers, life rafts, or life preservers, those things, those rings, inflatable rings, where you're both propping each other up and you're both trying to save each other from drowning in low self-esteem, for instance. And the more that you can come to a relationship with a sense of wholeness, and the Magician is a sense of autonomy, that was the word I was looking for, the more that you will have to offer another person, and the less likely it is that you will attract a controlling person or somebody who is so problematic in their own life that you end up having to be a codependent to them. Somebody wrote to me, I'm thinking it wasn't Libra. I'm hoping it wasn't Libra. I'm not saying their names, so I'm not calling them out, but they were saying it was wrong for me to say, getting involved with somebody who has problems. And these types of readings are for before you get involved in a relationship. It isn't for people who are already involved. Sometimes we are involved with somebody and we find out they have an addiction. They develop an addiction, or they have some sort of other types of problems, chronic problems. That's different than entering into a relationship with somebody where you're already their caretaker. You're already, and I'm not talking about because they're just disabled or something like that. I'm talking about they just are not, their life isn't working for them, and they are unwilling to take responsibility for their life. And you're stepping in and you're going to save them and all that stuff. And this is a type of reading for the beginning of a relationship, or even before a relationship has begun. So looking at those tendencies and realizing that it's very important to be autonomous is, I think, very helpful. What crosses you is represented by the Knight of Pentacles, This is a card that's connected to Taurus. And we do have another card, the Lover's card. No, it's funny. I think I told you, I think I said that was your card. No, that isn't your card. But if this is not somebody, the Knight of Pentacles, that you, maybe an ex that you were involved with, who may come back into your life, and it's like, remember why you broke up in the first place. The Knight of Pentacles can simply be saying that you are very busy work-wise, and you just don't have the time to devote. And the Hermit, maybe that's one of the reasons why you're in this position. A lot of people seem to not understand that if they find it hard to meet people, they also have to make room in their life for that, for that part of life. So, in other words, it's not enough just to carve out some time to go out on a Saturday night, and if you belong to an online dating service, to have a date, you have to have like consistently open times. If you're a workaholic, or maybe you don't want to work so much, but you feel like at this point in your life, especially if you're younger, or maybe if you're older and you're worried about your competition, I don't know, maybe it has nothing to do with age, but you're just at a time in your life where you're very busy, then you may have to acknowledge that the timing may be off for an ability to really have that kind of relationship. These readings are not intended for, hey, maybe you're going to meet somebody and have a fling. It's for people who want a relationship. And I'm just kind of reminding people that they have to make space for it. And I think, like, energetically, when you make space for something, then you can attract that into your life. You ever notice how when you're very busy, like maybe you're working a lot, that you never seem to meet anybody? And, when you have a little bit more time, then all of a sudden you do. And it's not because you're going out more frequently, but just because you have cleared the space, so to speak, for that to come into your life. The advice is the Page of Pentacles. Pages can be messages. Here's another Pentacles. Unless the Hermit is connected to Virgo, unless there's a Virgo person who you have, especially if it's like an online thing, because pages can be messages. Maybe there's somebody you need to reach out to, and that's how you're going to begin this thing. Page of Pentacles can be beginning of something. In May, we have a new moon in Earth on May 4th, so that could be a timing issue of when you meet somebody. But boy, I said this is connected to you, but it's actually connected to Gemini. The Lover's card is the outcome, and sometimes this can also be a choice. So if you have two different people that you've been seeing, and the Magician, it's funny, the Magician card connects to both Gemini and Aries. So maybe there's somebody like that. But the Lover's card is about intimacy and being with somebody as a couple. So it's not a fling, even though they are naked. It's that represents intimacy. And so that's what you're looking for. And perhaps with the Page of Pentacles, you need to reach out to somebody and talk to them. Maybe you met somebody one night and took their number and haven't called them, and this is your like sign from the universe that you're supposed to get in touch with them. I don't know. But in any case, Libra, that's what I have for you. And I hope that you have a great month. Bye.